Now, let's talk about how much you should charge for your videography services. Determining how much to charge for your videography services can be a complex decision that depends on various factors because it is a case-by-case scenario. How you structure your pricing can have a significant impact on whether you get or lose a potential client. Occasionally, you may lose clients because your rates are too high, making your services unaffordable for them. On the contrary, setting your rates or your prices too low can also lead to lost clients as they may not perceive your work as being of high quality or of value. At times, offering a lower rate might help you secure a client, but this can mean sacrificing potential earnings and a valuable time on a project that could have been more profitable. So you need to strike the right balance in order to be on a win-win side, and here is a breakdown of some key considerations to help you determine your pricing. Number one is location or target audience. You know, the cost of living and market demand in your location can influence your rates. Videographers in major cities often charge more than those in smaller towns or rural areas, no matter the production value and the skill you may have. If you are in a small town or in rural areas, just a few people will afford the same price being charged in bigger cities. So the location where you are, that's mostly your target audience, right? And if you are not sure of how much you should charge in that city, find out how much people in that area are willing to pay for the kind of videography services that you are offering. Research what other videographers in your area are charging for similar services. This can give you a baseline for setting your rates. Number two is your skill and experience. Your level of skill and experience plays a significant role in pricing. Beginners or those with less experience may charge less than seasoned professionals. As you gain experience and build a strong portfolio, you can now command higher rates. Compare the quality of your videos with others that are established. I don't know if I'm making sense. If you are still a beginner and your quality is under other professional filmmakers, then obviously charge less. Otherwise, you'll be competing with experienced guys and you will not have business. But if you are skilled and experienced more than the videos that you see from other filmmakers in that same area, then you can charge the same price that people in that area or region can afford. If your video quality is better than the majority of other filmmakers in that area, yet you charge the same price as they do, you will be on demand because people will come for quality and they can pay the same amount of money. You get the idea. But if you charge too much above what everyone else in that area are charging and what everybody else in that area can afford, clients may turn down your offer and just go with the average filmmaker in that area, not because your videos are not good, but because they just can't afford you. Number three is market demand. Consider the demand for your services in the area where you are in your niche of videography, right? Demand is a significant factor in determining your pricing strategy. For instance, if you initially offered lower rates to build your portfolio or match the average charge in that location where you are, but you have received high demand due to the exceptional quality of your work, it is a clear signal that you need to re-evaluate your pricing or increase your pricing. When your schedule becomes packed with bookings, that is the ideal moment to consider a moderate price increase. While some clients may find your new rates beyond their budget and choose not to proceed, your high demand may still attract clients willing to pay the higher price or the higher fees for the quality videos. It is better to create 2 videos in 1 month, which cost $2,000 each, than to create 4 videos in the same month that are priced at $1,000 each. Ultimately, this approach allows you to earn more for less work. This extra time that you get can be invested in perfecting your videos and actively seeking new, higher paying clients. Now, this is very important. Just ensure that your pricing aligns with the quality and style of work your client expects. Over-delivering can justify higher pricing rates. So at times, you can actually really deliver higher than the client's expectations, which can justify your higher pricing. Number 4 is how badly you want that project, right? Another factor that can influence your pricing is the level of your interest in a particular project. If you are just starting out and your primary goal is to gain experience, you can be flexible with your rates, aligning them with the client's budget. When potential clients inquire about your charges, you can respond by asking them how much their budget is. So by accommodating their financial constraints, right? Maybe sometimes they don't really have enough money, but you believe in that project so much. You think that that project can add to your portfolio. You can always be flexible when it comes to how much you can charge them because you really want that project to be in your portfolio. I always say that in some cases, the best compensation isn't always monetary. If you believe a project can significantly enhance your portfolio, don't hesitate to consider it. Even if it means working it for free, do it. Once you think you have a good portfolio, you can now transition away from free projects and start earning a more substantial income from your efforts, from your expertise, from your experience, from your work, from your sweat. So make sure don't ignore certain projects just because the client doesn't have enough budget. Consider them if you think they're gonna add to your portfolio. Number 5 is equipment and editing. Consider the cost of your equipment, including cameras, lenses, lighting, and editing software. Sometimes you can charge a higher price because you are using the most expensive equipment on the market. Or some clients might want you to shoot their video using a different camera that you do not have or a different piece of gear that you do not have, which means you will have to go somewhere else and hire that piece of gear, which will attract an extra charge. As you can see from all this stuff that I've explained, determining the appropriate pricing for your videos is a decision that only yourself can know. However, to add even more, when a client asks me for a quote, I respond by asking these 2 questions. How long will the shooting take and how much is your budget? Asking these 2 questions will help you come up with how much to charge, as each project will be different from the other. And before you get to a point of asking how long will it take to shoot the project, you should know how much your skill is worth per hour, per half a day, or per day, right? Personally, for any videography services that I offer, I charge $100 per hour, which is $800 per day. So if the client tells me that the project is going to take 3 days to finish or 3 days to shoot, I will charge $800 by 3 days, which is $2,400. And this does not include travel expenses such as transportations, accommodations, and meals. Therefore, it is very important to invest some time in assessing your own value and worth for a specific time frame, such as an hourly rate, a daily rate, or half a day rate. The second question that I usually ask, which is how much is your budget, helps me to know how much the client is willing to spend on that particular project. Even though I know how much I charge, I don't rush to tell the client what my charges are, so that I avoid undervaluing a project which the client was willing to pay more for. It's a trick and a trap question because whoever gives the first price loses. You will find that the client had a budget of $10,000 for that project, but you charge $5,000. If you are the first one to say, I charge $5,000, the client will accept that offer, even though they had a budget of $10,000. And if the client is the first one to tell you that they have $10,000 budget for that particular project, you will accept that offer, even though you charge $5,000, because you will see that the client actually has this much of the budget that is even more than what I would have charged them. So it's a tricky question that you should use to trap your clients. Try to find out how much they are willing to spend on that project so that you avoid an issue whereby you charge less for a project they are willing to pay more. However, if they mention an offer which is below what you are charging, like for example, $2,000, be prepared to negotiate. Some clients may have a fixed budget while others are willing to pay more for quality work. Negotiate with them, to what you are comfortable to work with, or you will lose the project to someone else cheaper. If what they have is too little for you and the project doesn't really necessarily add value to your production, better let them go find someone else who is cheaper, unless the project will add value to your business. Even if you were to do it for free, then you can actually work with their budget. Ultimately, the right pricing strategy depends on your unique circumstances and goals. Nobody can just tell you to say this is how much you should charge. You should be the one to come up with how much you are willing to charge. So be flexible at some point and be open to adjusting your rates as your business evolves. Sometimes if the business is too much, you can adjust your rates higher. But if there's no business and clients are not coming, be flexible enough to adjust your rates to a lower rate to attract more clients. I'll see you in the next video. This is it. Peace.